morning, everybody. Just finishing off these last little buttons. I have to click here to get the live stream started on all the different channels so that I can see that I'm talking and that there's sound coming through to you all. I can see TikTok's launched, as it always does, very easily. These other channels are the ones that take their time. It's rather interesting, isn't it? Okay, well, I'm a little bit early, but I'm going to get started anyway. So make your way onto your mat, and please have some blocks ready if you own them. If you don't have some, maybe some books or something that just elevates the earth towards you. Come into a simple cross-leg position, and therefore being placed on a block, a bolster, or a pillow underneath the buttocks can help elevate your hips. Arriving with your hands on your knees, closing down your eyes, and starting to focus your inward direction. Our senses want to take us on that external journey of distraction. So by closing down our eyes, we can practice pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses of the eyes. And whilst they are incredibly valuable and amazing pieces of technology, they are a big source of distraction. So allow yourself now to focus on the internal dimensions of your body. Maybe you can recognize areas that are a little bit angular or a little bit rigid. And see if you can use the magic of your breath to help smooth out those edges. Notice how with the inhale, the prana vayu arrives and you feel length in the spine. You feel width in the torso. You feel the abundance of the inhale. And you pause just in that moment. And then with the exhale breath, it's either out the mouth or nose, and it's ha. And you feel that melt. You feel that releasing and letting go. That's the magic of the breath as it coordinates with the vayus. So the prana vayu inhale breath, lengthening, invigorating, full of vitality, pausing there, and then the apana vayu, that downward current of releasing, exhale breath, and just notice the softening that can come with that. For these next few moments, just take a few breaths in through the nose. And if you feel like sealing your lips now and breathing entirely through the nose, exhale either or. I'm going to continue with the mouth. And the magic of the pause in between the two breaths is that beautiful expression of the space between the words now on the inhale, pause here on the exhale. Because if we don't pause and we join those two words together, we get nowhere. But with the magic and that experience of the yogic expression of pausing between the breaths, the kumbhaka, with the exhale, we remind ourselves we are here. Nice work. Just another breath together. On your next inhale, take the hands up and overhead to the ceiling, all the way up, palms touch, namaskar mudras through to the heart space, chin to chest. If you feel like joining me in an om to start our practice, please feel free to join in. Otherwise, let the sound reverberate around you. Inhale to prepare. Start to rub the hands together and ignite your inner Agni, the fire of the solar plexus, the third chakra, Manipura, the lustrous gem, the container of the fire element. Let it be a little furnace that will burn in our practice today, transmuting, transforming, limiting beliefs, unwanted thoughts, and the regurgitation in the mind of the same crap we went over yesterday and the day before that. Clear up the space for abundance and movement in the direction of more throughout your wonderful Sunday ahead of us. Place the palms over the eyes, absorb the nourishment of the warmth from the palms, and then start to peel the hands away from the eyes and arrive in your space and your practice. Lower the left hand down onto your left knee, Nadi Shodhana Pranayama. Take your peace fingers to your third eye. Close the right nostril, inhale left. Close the left nostril, exhale right. Reclose the right nostril, inhale left. Close the left, reopen right, exhale. So move through that now. Nice work. Open both nostrils, inhale freely. Exhale fully. Now switch it around. Inhale right, exhale left. Both hands down on your knees. Nadi Shodhana is about activating the dual serpent energies of Ida and Pingala, allowing them to rise along the spine, lubricating the chakras and arriving in the mind to illuminate it, to remove the stickiness and the gooiness and shine the skull free of that which impedes us. With that, let's shift onto our tabletop all fours and begin to move through the spine in our cow and cat positions. So allowing the body to open up on the inhale as you look up and ground down as you tilt the tailbone up. And then with your exhale breath, chin to chest, round the back body, press away from the earth, belly button in cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Two more on your own, guided by the breath as you synchronize and coordinate the movements along the spine, hydrating the tissues of the back body and allowing the abundance to free up all of the stickiness and gooiness along the spine. And final few moments, turn this into playful cat, where you move around your body, your neck, your shoulders, your hips, maybe even tucking your toes, sending the weight back towards the heels, warming up the soles of your feet. Change the orientation of your hands, get funky in the wrists and the elbows, bending, swaying, moving, and integrating that freedom and fluidity that comes with coordinating the body and the breath. And then arrive back in your stable tabletop position, all fours. Lift your thumbs, lift your palms, shift forward onto four fingers of each hand. Hinge at your first row of knuckles, lift and lower the palms for 5, 4, 3. This is a great exercise to help warm up your fingers and your wrists in the morning. If you type all day for your occupation, lower the palms down, lower the thumbs down, and sway the upper body from left to right. Place your hands a full handprint further down the mat away from you. Tuck your toes behind you, downward facing dog. Send your hips back towards your heels. Bend the knees deeply, lift the heels deeply, and start to pedal the feet as you lengthen one leg and bend the opposite. Work from that grounded row of knuckles we just activated. Neutral in your wrists, soft but engaged in your elbows. And all of the recruitment is in your shoulders. Widen across the upper back. Head heavy, neck long. Look back at your big toes and take a moment now to encourage length from the knuckles to the hips. along the sides of your waists. Feel how the internal dimension of the legs can feel squeezy towards each other, and allowing that neutrality in the pelvis. Taking another breath here. As you walk forward to the top of your mat, take your time and allow that to be an exhale breath the whole way. Feet arrive at a hip width orientation. Take a halfway lift, and if you want to use your blocks, if you're fortunate enough to have them, place your hands on the blocks at their highest height. Inhale for length along the spine and buoyancy in the chest. And then take your hands behind your knees, bend them deeply, and let the tummy arrive on the thighs as you lower the head down and dangle the torso off the hips, hands placed wherever they might make it, whether that's the earth or around the ankles. Head heavy, neck long. Let the waterfall of hydration flow down the spine. Water has a beautiful cleansing activity, so it's allowing us to unstick the stickiness, unblock the blockages, and let the channels flow freely with the beautiful morning energy of our prana. As we draw the chin to chest, take an inhale breath to roll up the spine, vertebra by vertebra, bone by bone. Eventually we'll arrive like a beautiful lily flower emerging from a pond. As we start to feel that expression of length along the legs, the neutral pelvis, the containment of the belly button and the lower ribs, take a moment just to settle into your standing position, but make it firm and active, just like the Himalayas on the horizon in the Indian northern aspects. The yogis stood and were amazed by their strength and stability. We'll be just like them right now, firm in the earth and lofty in the crown of your head. Then bring the big toes to touch, the hands to the heart space, the chin to chest, and take a moment here to cultivate Ujjayi breath if you practice it. And feel free to start to set an intention for your day, your week, whatever it might be. I'll give you a few moments on your own. On your next inhale, sweep the hands down and high and wide and up to the sky. Big breath in, and then return to the earth with your exhale breath. As you fold, hands on shins, halfway lift, inhale breath, crown ahead forward. Exhale breath, plant the hands and step your right foot back into a runner's lunge position, nice and long. You're high on the finger pads, allowing the length in the leg to tone into that strength and stability. Lower the right knee down, untuck the toes, and bring your blocks with you. So place them in front of you and start to walk them back until you feel there's this beautiful lift and length through the torso as the proud chest widens towards the front of your room, and you ground the front heel. Using your blocks now as support, place your right block beside your right hip and just firm the hand down into it. Place the left block beside the left hip and firm the left hand down into it. Hold here and then sweep the right hand up and overhead as you press down into the left hand on the block. Pausing, breathing, and lengthening along the side body. Now lower the right hand back down onto that block. Start to send the hips back a little and slide the left foot forward. Using the support of the block, press away from the blocks and allow Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits here, to unfold. You can flex and point the toe in front of you and allow that pulsation to create some deep sensation along the hamstrings, and then start to pause and maybe a little fold forward here with the chest. Nice work. Now slide your front foot back towards you. Shift some weight forward. Take your blocks out wide and forward in front of you. Place the hands on the earth. Tuck the back toes. Lift the back knee. Left hand peels open here. Left hand to sky. Lower left hand down, step left foot back, high plank. Let's hold this beautiful strong plank. Feel the difference in the energy in the legs, right? The left leg was compressed in its flexion position as the right leg lengthened out, and then the opposite occurred. So you feel into the dance of those beautiful opposing sentiments. Lower the knees down. Cross your ankles behind your heels to butt. Lengthen forward with your breath in, and then lower halfway down with the breath out. Press back up on the inhale and lower halfway down on the exhale. So we're moving through this a few times as you start to warm up triceps and biceps and the chest. Untuck toes. lower them down onto the earth, and then lower the chest and the chin down and slither onto your tummies for Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Lift the chest, look to the left, lower the chest. Inhale, lift the chest, look to the right, lower the chest. Exhale, big toes touch, knees open out wide, hips back to heels, extended child's pose. Pause here for a breath. Lift the chest, slide the right arm underneath the left arm and lower the right ear down. Peek under left armpit. Let the hips settle back towards the heels and use the left hand out in front of you to press into the earth so that the weight does shift back. Return back to extended child's pose and switch it over. Left arm slides under the right, left ear lowers, and we peek under right armpit. Feel the right finger pads pressing down, shifting the weight back, especially left hip to heel, left buttock to heel. Coming back to your center, tabletop. Parallel the legs there so that your shins are grounded, the toenails are grounded. Sit back on your heels. Inhale, lift up to all fours, right arm lengthens, left leg long, hold, and then exhale breath. Elbow, knee tap, under body, return hand and knee to mat, and sit back on your heels. So inhales the lift, reach and rise through the opposite arm and leg, so left arm, right leg. Exhales the tap, round and ground, and then we sit back on heels. So inhale, opposite arm, opposite leg extends. Exhales the contraction, the tap and the returning to earth and sitting back on heels. Extend, lengthen, reach through the inhale, tap, round and return on the exhale. 2 more. Tabletop, meet me there. Return into downward facing dog. Tuck toes, hips back to hip. Neck long, head heavy, peeking at big toes. Is there more room now for the soles of the feet to start to merge towards the earth? So as you lengthen along the hamstrings, the backs of the knees and the calves, you've got more space. Big breaths. Step your right foot forward to your right thumb. Find a runner's lunge position, nice and strong in your back leg, lifting away from the front thigh with the chest, gently lowering the left knee down, untucking left toes, and finding our blocks and bringing them on that journey back towards our hips, allowing our torso to stay upright and feel firm and foundational against the earth with the support of the blocks. Holding here. Feel the weight spread evenly across the balls of the front foot and also through the toenails of the back foot. Return the right hand onto your block and sweep the left arm up and overhead. In doing so, you're bending to the right, but the left arm's overhead, and you're lengthening along the front of the left hip and the left thigh. Lowering the left hand down, feeling super supported here. Maybe the palms are on the blocks and you start to shift the back knee back slightly as the front leg slides forward. And Ardha Hanumanasana here, so half splits, starting to pump the front foot forward and back, which is going to texturize your hamstring muscles and prepare for a few moments in our hold here. You're really tuning into that wonderful deep breath. Foundation on the earth with those blocks. Slide the front foot back towards you and give yourself a little bit of space to shift the back knee forward. Take blocks out wide to the sides of your mat. Frame your front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, peel the right hand open, look up, reach up, lower right hand and exaggerate the step forward with the back foot and arrive at the top of your mat. Halfway lift on the inhale, crown of head forward. Exhale breath, fold deeply. Inhale, root to rise, hands up, rise up, reach up, palms touch. Now let's come back to Samasthiti, hands at heart center, Namaskar Mudra or Anjali Mudra. And just take a moment to recenter, reconnect, and retool here. And feeling into the vibrancy of the breath as we've started to move a little more dynamically now. Let's flow through a little bit of namaskar this morning to salute the beautiful morning sunshine here in Australia. It's a gorgeous day in my hometown in Bowral, south of Sydney in New South Wales. So let's take a moment to sweep up, reach up, rise up. Inhale breath and return to the earth. Exhale. Hands on shins or blocks. Halfway lift, inhale. Plant hands, step back to high plank. Exhale, breath from our high plank position. Lower through knees, chest and chin, and then slither through to your back bend. Cobra here for me. Bhujangasana, tucking the toes, hips back to heels. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Walk forward, top of mat. Exhale, breath, please. Hands on shins, halfway lift, please. Inhale. And deep dive fold. Exhale. Root to rise. Inhale. Up to the sky. Be the change we want to see in the world. And then heart center with the hands. Exhale. Inhale, sky. And exhale, earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant hands. Step back to high plank. Final round with knees, chest, chin here. So lowering on that exhale breath. And then allowing the inhale to be the back bend known as Bhujangasana. And then tucking toes, hips back to heels, downward facing dog. We can walk forward, step forward a little quicker now. Exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Sky, inhale. Heart center, exhale. Inhale, sky. Activate the thighs. Lift from the front of your chest. Maybe a back bend there. Exhale, earth. Cobra or high plank to low plank. Exhale. Shift onto tops of feet. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press away from the earth. Roll over the toes. Downward facing dog. Inhale to prepare. Your choice. Hop, step, or jump forward. Exhale. Halfway on the inhale and fold on the exhale. Sky on the inhale. Heart center on the exhale. Let's stay here for a breath. Feel the pulsation and the vibration of the prana as it flows with the vitality and movement of the heart, the lungs, and the vayus. Inhale, sky. Exhale, earth. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, your vinyasa here. Make your way back through high to low plank, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more from me. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, bend knees, hop, step, or jump forward. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sky. Exhale, heart center. Pause. Tune in. Feel the vibrancy of the breath. Blink open eyes if you close them like me. Chair pose. Utkatasana. Sweep fingers down to mat. Then lift the arms. Sit the seat back into that imaginary chair. Ground through the heels here particularly. Tone the abdominals. Lengthen side ribs and fingertips. Spark the energy. Reach, reach, reach. Fold on the exhale. Inhale and exhale through your vinyasa flow here, and I'll meet you back in downward facing dog. Roll over the toes, hips to sky. Nice work. Lift the right leg, inhale, peel the right heel towards the left buttock and open up through the right side of the hips and lengthening down the back of the left leg. Square your chest firm and feel the weight spread evenly across the hands underneath the support at the front of the mat. Step right foot to right pinky finger. So nice and wide, right pinky finger. Rotate back foot 45-degree angle, parallel with short edge of mat. Walk hands off the mat to the left and find this deep expression of lunge dog. Front foot is 12 o'clock. It points forward and it's really wide at the top of the mat. Back foot is parallel with the pinky toe edge and the short edge of your mat at the back there. Holding for 3, for 2, and for 1. Walk your hands back to the front of your mat. Pivot onto the ball of the back foot and then lower the back knee down, untuck back toes. Right hand reaches up, looks back, reaches back, maybe bends back knee, and you catch foot behind you. If that's not available, just reach back, look back. That's an option. Or reaching to the sky as well. Holding here for 3, 2, and for 1. As you release that foot, no slingshots, tuck the back toes behind you, walk that front foot to center a little more, frame the front foot, and then shift the hips back and forth as you rock back and forth into your pyramid shape here. So it feels really nice to take your right thumb into your right hip crease and press it back. And that allows the torso to fold over that front thigh. And your hands frame the front foot now, and you dome through the upper back as you draw belly button in and up. Very nice job. Lunge forward into your front knee and then rotate around to the long edge of your mat. Shuffle the feet wide here so that you've got space between them and they're parallel with the short edges of your mat. Halfway lift, crown of head forward, lengthen forward. And then with your exhale, dive into your wide leg forward fold. Feeling into the pinky toe edges of those feet, right? So that the energy flows up the sides of the legs and it arrives at the sacrum, which is the keystone of the arch created by your legs. As the torso hangs off the hips and the head is heavy, there's all that hydration flowing down your spine. Nice work. Hands under your face. Halfway lift. Inhale. Rotate into the back knee and find your Skandasana expression. So your hands walk to the back of the mat. The right leg is super long. Rotating around so that the right hand plants. The ball of the right foot is on the earth and the heel is elevated. The left hand lifts to sky. Maybe there's that Cleopatra expression where we rotate around, we reach back. Lower the left hand down. So you are at the back of the mat. Step your left foot back. High plank to low plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then Adho is the exhale breath as you find your way into down dog at the opposite end of your mat. We'll just take all of that on the opposite side now. And I do that switch so you don't have to see my butt on camera because I won't be facing behind you. Nice, huh? Left leg lifts, inhale, yawn hip open, and we take that moment just to express that deep sense of openness across the front of the hip, down the back of the right leg, but we're so engaged in those shoulders, neutral in the wrists, and we're feeling that stretch. It's so dynamic. Left foot, left pinky, yeah? Back foot, parallel short edges of mat, walk hands off mat to the right, and we take ourselves through that deep lunge dog expression. Deep breaths. Walking hands back to top of mat, pivoting onto ball of back foot, lowering right knee down gently, taking ourselves into that left hand expression of lifting, reaching back. Maybe that's enough for you today. Or maybe you bend the back knee and you can catch the foot behind you, drawing the heel towards your buttock. But wherever you are, you're pressing away from the earth. We're not slouching into that right shoulder. We're engaging away from gravity. Releasing the foot, returning the hands, shuffling left foot into center line, tucking back toes, lifting back knee and shifting hips back and forth into that pyramid pose expression where we take the left thumb into left hip crease and we press it back, texturizing all the muscles of the outer thigh and hip and gluteal. Whew, deep stretch. Hands frame the front foot. We take a moment, we take a breath. We lunge forward into our front knee and we rotate around to the right so that we find that wide leg fold expression. Pinky toe edges of the feet pressing down. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. I've had a rotten start to my year. Even though it's April, I'm still seeing this as the start of the year. I broke my toe, which prevented me from moving dynamically in my practice. Caused some depression and anxiety and disappointment. It was a bit of a roadblock in my year. And then I caught a virus. Well, I had a resurfacing of the virus of chickenpox from our childhood known as shingles. And that attacked my nervous system and my respiratory system. And since then, I've developed a little case of asthma. As a 45-year-old man that rides a bike for, getting around and doing practices of pranayama and yoga, asthma is very foreign to me. And our clock's changed here in Australia, and I'm all out of whack. So I'm very breathless and annoyed, and it's just all those things, right? But that's what I'm here for. I'm showing up, I'm practicing, and I'm trying to shift some of that negativity. So as we come onto our finger pads, we halfway lift here, inhale, and then bending into that right knee at the back of your mat, finding that little Skandasana expression where the legs are nice, that left leg's nice and long. Rotate around, frame your front foot, left hand earth, right hand peel. So we're back at the top of the mat. We've got that little rotation into our Cleopatra. We look back, reach back, plant the right hand, step the right foot back. Vinyasa here. Final one today for our practice. Coming through the upward facing dog, rolling over the toes, downward facing dog, and then lowering down the knees, big toes touching, hips back to heels, and settling back into our extended child's pose. Integrate and absorb that practice. Pardon me for the breath here. Everything about my respiratory system has been a mess since I had shingles, and it is an absolute frustration. It's also been one of those journeys where I also had a little cold, and with that cold, that just flared up a lot of those things again. And, you just recognize how much the breath can help smooth out the nervous system. And when you are anxious, when you are stressed, when you have those regurgitating thoughts that continually block all the positivity, it really is hard to shift. But it's the austerity of our practice. It's about getting on the mat. It's about even practicing at 50%, doing the work. And it's not just yoga postures I'm talking about. It is meditation, it is pranayama, it is kriya, it is kundalini. It is taking what we learn in this beautiful little Petri dish, this science experiment that is our asana practice, and what we can take off the mat and help us navigate in the direction of more when we are moving about our very busy and frenetic lives. Now, as you start to shift upwards, center the knees and hips, and then sit back on the heels and swing the legs around and arrive in your comfortable seat. Making your way there, using whatever props you wish to find that beautiful elevation of the hips, the crossing of the legs, and placing the hands on the knees. I'm a little unorthodox. I don't go through a particular Shavasana style practice, or perhaps something we might know as hip openers, because you know what? I want to be active for the rest of my day. I want to move within the direction of more, and that is going to allow me to do that here. But if you need to integrate the practice, if you want to find your way into Shavasana, I recommend you taking yourself there. But otherwise, as we find ourselves in our seat with our eyes closed down, move from the fabric of your skin through the contours of your muscles and into the web of your nerves. Just take a moment to recognize that 30 minutes ago, I asked you to self-inquire. What were the rigid edges like? What were all those corners in the body? Where were those blockages, the stickiness, the gooiness? And let's just refocus on the breath as you explore those dimensions. And my encouragement was that we would smooth them out in our practice. We would take those sharp edges and we would contour them into something that allows for the beautiful flow of fresh prana, of fresh energy, of fresh abundance, of fresh joy, of fresh self-care, of fresh self-love. Because in those blockages, that's where those limiting beliefs like to harbor. That's where those nonsense lies we tell ourselves like to fester. In all of those little nooks and crannies. And the illumination of our yoga practice, the tapas, the fire, the solar plexus, the surya, is a way of shining a light on those limiting beliefs and recognizing them as the falsehoods that we should, on a daily occurrence, shed ourselves of, so that the direction of more is paved with such a sense of stability and firmness, of erectness in the spine, of the self-worth and love that we should daily bathe ourselves in. As you take your hands to your heart space and draw your chin towards your chest, thank yourself for getting on the mat. Thank yourself for practicing. Thank yourself for showing up. As your thumbs come to your third eye, it's an opportunity to thank each other for sharing their beautiful energy with you as we recite Loka, Samasta, Sukhi no Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. And may the actions of myself and yourself help others be guided towards their own path of freedom. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Thanks for joining me, and greet this beautiful version of yourself and the remainder of your Sunday with the Hindi word Namaste. Thanks everybody for your practice. As always, TikTok is the place that gives me love and attention and abundance. All of the other channels are always very Anyway, thanks for that, and I will see you again real soon. All my classes are scheduled out. I think I've gone all the way through till late April, actually. So you can see all of those on our TikTok roster. You can see them on the Facebook page, and you can see them on the YouTube channel. So if you ever want to practice one of these classes again, they're all there on my YouTube channel. So feel free to jump over. Thanks very much, and have a great Sunday, everybody, and I will see you again real soon. Bye for now. Thank you. Have a great day. Red wine. Love that name. And what else? Who else have I got there? Thank you. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. Hope you had a nice practice. Kimmy Marie. It's really good. Well, my hair's a bit wild this morning. I must have washed it last night. Okay. Good morning, everybody, and have a wonderful day. I'll see you again real soon. Bye for now. Oh, got to turn this one off.